Okay, writers, let's take our rich words and put them into sentences to create beautiful structure. This is week 3, and our sentence templates are going to show us how to model after and fit our sentences into different orders than we're used to. And this is template number 3, out of the very top. Out of the very top, there sprouted hundreds and hundreds of thin glass tubes from Roald Dahl, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. What is going on in this sentence here? We have a very different kind of a word order. We've got out of the very top. They're talking about some kind of a machine or mechanism, and they've described the bottom and the middle of the machine. And now we've got to the top. Out of the very top, well, what came out of the very top? There sprouted hundreds and hundreds of thin glass tubes. And we don't usually see this. There sprouted. And we'll talk more about the purpose of how we figure out of why we would phrase a sentence this way. And what does it do? It highlights the location first. So out of the very top of that machine, before we even know what is coming out of the top, we know it's at the top. And because he withholds the description of what it is, you build suspense before you find out what is the thing that is coming out of the very top. So let's compare. There are different ways to say this idea and do the word order, and so we can look at the different choices and see why or what effect it has to do it this way. Our template sentence again, out of the very top, there sprouted hundreds and hundreds of thin glass tubes. Or you could say hundreds and hundreds of glass tubes sprouted out of the very top. This would be the most common way of phrasing this sentence. Hundreds and hundreds of glass tubes, the subject being glass tubes, sprouted. Or you could do it this way. Glass tubes sprouted out of the very top, hundreds and hundreds of them. And so each way of phrasing the sentence has a different emphasis. Our template sentence is the one that puts what's coming out at the end. So this is a great technique for being able to um, surprise somebody with the thing that's coming out. Let's look at some examples. Under the lid of the chest, there glittered heaps and heaps of gold coins. So, this one is great because if you're in a story where somebody is opening a chest and you can't wait to find what's inside, then you say, under the lid of the chest, and you're not showing them yet. There glittered. Oh, you're showing them something glittery, but they don't know what it is yet. Heaps and heaps of gold coins. And now we find what it is. Or out from behind the clouds, there shone rays and rays of bright moonlight. And so for this one, maybe it's a dark night, and maybe your character is going and they're losing hope and they're not sure they're ever going to make it. But then there's a turn and a change, and we find out, oh, out from behind the clouds, what's going to come out of the clouds? Shining something, rays and rays of bright moonlight. Oh, finally, they have something to see by. They have a way of getting through. So your homework this week, you're going to do sentence imitations again. Write 5 sentence imitations of our week 3 template out of the very top. In each one, use one of the words below. The word can fall in any part of the sentence. And so let's take a look at an example here. If our example word is clammy, the imitation could look like, out from the dark pit there reached dozens and dozens of cold, clammy hands. So when you're making this imitation, be careful to make sure you copy this there verb part of the sentence. Out from the dark pit, there what? There jumped, there shot, there cannonballed. You can put any verb practically after this there, but that is what helps you structure the sentence so that you can get your main subject at the end and build that suspense. Give it a try.